Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Michael Cunningham, World Class Schools, and we are bringing you today our first annual Law Day Conspiracy. Our first one comes from Afghanistan and is talking about the Taliban. We see that this is a school from Kandahar in Afghanistan. The Taliban. Who are the Taliban? The Taliban in Afghanistan were accused of providing sanctuary to Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda movement, who are blamed for the attacks. Soon after 9/11, the Taliban were driven from power in Afghanistan by a U.S.-led coalition through their leader, Mullah Muhammad Omar, was not captured. When was the Taliban created? October the 10th, 1994. The purpose of in Afghanistan. What was the main purpose of the Taliban? The Taliban's unity of purpose. A lack of harmony between the Pakistan and Afghanistan supports the militant's use of purpose. The recent increase of so-called green on blue attacks forced the coalition partners to suspend training of Afghan security forces. The head of the Taliban. Leaders of the Tehrik Taliban, Pakistan, and former Taliban head in Swat district of Pakistan is believed to be currently residing in Kunar province in Afghanistan, swears allegiance to the Mullah Muhammad Omar. There we see a picture of the commander. What was the Taliban called before? In 1973, the Soviet Union brought their soldiers into Afghanistan, claiming to rebuild a crushing economy. However, the Soviets were resented by the Mujahideen, from whom the Taliban eventually formed from. At the same time, the Soviet Union and the United States were engaged in a Cold War. If Afghanistan is still under Taliban rule. Introduction. Taliban is basically Pashtun, Islamic fundamentalist group that ruled Afghanistan from 1996 to the year 2001, when the U.S.-led coalition toppled the regime for providing refuge to Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden. How was the Taliban formed? The Taliban was one of the Mujahideen's factions that formed during the Soviet occupation and internal fighting in Afghanistan. The Taliban emerged as a powerful movement in the late 1994 when Pakistan chose the Taliban to guard a convoy trying to open up a trade route from Pakistan to Central Asia. Taliban activities. Note that while some traditional Afghan sports like kite flying, dog fighting, and game played at horseback with an animal carcass were allowed for being un-Islamic, cricket, volleyball, and boxing gained popularity as the Taliban banned other activities such as music, television, and cinema. What is the main language of the Taliban? The original Afghan Taliban speak Pashto, the language of Pashtun, the ethnic group that straddles the border with Afghanistan and Pakistan. By the CIA's own estimation, half of the Afghans speak one of 30-something languages other than Dari. What is the Taliban's religious group? Predominantly Pashtun movement, the Taliban came to prominence in Afghanistan in the autumn of 1994. It is commonly believed that they first appeared in religious seminaries, mostly paid for by the money of Saudi Arabia, which preached a hard line of Sunni Islam. What is the Taliban law? From 1996 to 2001, Taliban held power over roughly 3/4 of Afghanistan and enforced a strict interpretation of Sharia or Islamic law. Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan was established in 1996, and the Afghan capital was transferred to Kandahar. Thank you for your attention. We also have a second one, which I'm about to show you here.